Hello and good afternoon. This will be the first video on Big Mike and Lola. I'm Big Mike. Lola is a 3.5-year-old black lab. She's around here somewhere, always is. She's going to be my fishing partner a lot of the time. At least that's what we're hoping. A little bit about me. I've been fishing since I was a kid. I grew up on a farm. We had a little farm pond. Had some bass, mostly bluegill, and a number of turtles. Grew up in Tennessee. Been fishing since, like I said, we moved to that farm when I was 3. Probably started fishing right around then. Used to go out fishing every day after school and on weekends. It was all I did. Neighbor down the road one way had a pond with a little bit of everything in it, and the other way had some catfish in it. So spent a lot of time down at that catfish pond. Chicken livers, chicken hearts, night crawlers, anything I could come up with. In the early 2000s, I found out my wife was pregnant and decided it was time to buy a boat. A little piece of life advice for everyone out there. If you find out your wife's pregnant with your first child, don't go buy a boat. That was a little bit of animosity that we all could have done without. Spent more time fishing than I should have, and left her homesick with morning sickness and afternoon sickness and evening sickness. But that's neither here nor there. Thought I'd try my hand at trying to become a professional bass fisherman. Joined a local bass club when I lived in Dallas. Great group of guys there. Learned a lot. And if you're wondering how my professional bass career went, have you ever heard of me? Do I look familiar? Well, that should tell us a lot, shouldn't it? But anyway, I had a lot of fun. Took a little bit of a hiatus from fishing for about 15 years. I've gotten back into it. I got a fishing partner here, or buddy, I guess would be a better way to put it. We don't fish tournaments or anything like that. We mostly chase bluegill and some shell crackers and some white bass. And I'm going to do a lot of running around for catfish. Do some bass fishing as well, crappie fishing. Pretty much if it swims, we're going to fish for it. Right now, actually, I may end up doing some rainbow trout fishing. The local park ponds here in Memphis, there's some of them that are stocked with rainbow trout. They don't survive the summer. It gets too hot here. So they stock them in the winter, and people go out and just have a ball catching them. Anyway, enough about me. Our first video is going to be about some different pliers, 3 different types of pliers. Now, on the channel, we're going to do things, everything from reviews to fishing videos to who knows what. But today, I thought it'd be a good start. I've had COVID for a couple of weeks, so haven't been able to get out. We're saying goodbye to 2020 and have a few choice words for 2020, but we'll leave it at that. So, what we have on the table here, and I've got them in order of price, MSRP, or I guess regular retail. So, over here on my left, your right, we have the Bass Pro Shops aluminum pliers. You can find these, of course, on BassPro.com. The SKU, if you're interested, is 231195. Normal price is $19.99, and I've already messed this up, so we'll just go from there. These are actually the middle priced pliers, so here we go. Now, on your right, my left, we have the Cast King Intimidator fishing pliers. These are actually $16.99 on Amazon. Don't know what the MSRP is, and I do believe that these have been discontinued. I can't find them on Cast King's site. And I'm finding that with a lot of Cast King products. I love their catfish rods. They're no longer on their site either. Now, that may be due to COVID-19 and the fact that a lot of their products are manufactured overseas and not being able to get them in, so they may just be sitting on a boat somewhere. I don't know. But these Cast Kings, again, their normal retail is $16.99. Normal retail on these Bass Pro aluminum pliers are $19.99. And over here we have some Danco pliers. They are $24.99. And I'll just go through these here. I've used these Cast King pliers for a while now. Had them probably 5 or 6 months. And if you hear that noise in the background, that's Lola. She has found something that she wanted to eat that she shouldn't be, I'm sure. The Bass Pro and the Danco pliers are both basically new. I got the Danco pliers about a month ago and the Bass Pro a couple weeks ago. These are, they're 3 different types of pliers. So the Cast King do not come with their own sheath. The Bass Pro comes with a cheap, inexpensive ballistic nylon sheath. Does not come with a lanyard. You can buy one of those separately, I'm sure. And of course, on the back you have standard belt loop, but you can also run it through your belt like this. Although it's not very wide, that might be, it won't take a 2-inch belt. It might take a 1.5-inch belt if you do it this way. Now, of course, if you want it vertically, it's going to go probably 3 inches if you wanted it to. The Danco pliers. These come with, it's a type of plasticized rubber type product. It does have a belt clip that slips over, as opposed to these where you thread through. And of course, the belt clip turns if you want to wear it, sideways on your belt. You can slap it on like so. It does come with a lanyard. And these pliers actually are $24.99. I got both the Danco and the Bass Pro on sale for half price, but I'm giving you their normal price. So the Danco pliers here are called the 7.5 inch Shocker Tournament Series. Now Danco is, I had never heard of them until I found on one of the sale sites that they were having a half off sale for, I'm going to say Black Friday, Cyber Monday, somewhere in there. I wish I had known more about them. I would have ordered more than one pair. They were really nice pliers. The SKU on these are PS, Paul Sam 75LS RCT. They have a ton of different pliers. This is kind of the tournament series, I believe, is their middle of the road. They have an Angler series, and I think the other one is Pro series. And they have several different pairs of pliers within those product lines. So, everything you want. You'll notice all of these do not have the split ring ability. Both the Danco and the Cast King do have a version that comes in the with the split ring. At the Bass Pro Shops brand, I do not believe they do in this general shape. I know with the Cast King they have another one that looks just like it, but has the split ring lip on the end. Okay, so go over some basics. DancoPliers.com is a website for Danco. They are the heaviest of the group at 10.4 ounces. Okay, they have this rubberized coating that goes over the metal. It's not terribly thick. It's not actually very thick. It's very thin, to be honest with you. All 3 use a anvil and cutting system. The Danco are titanium coated stainless steel. So these should be good in pretty much any environment. The Bass Pro Shops, these are aluminum. And therefore, they weigh about 3 ounces, 3.0 ounces on my scale. They're the lightest of the batch by a long shot. They're less than half the weight of the Cast King pliers. And the Cast King and these Bass Pro still don't add up to the weight of the Danco pliers. The Cast Kings are at 7.0 ounces. Bass Pro Shops, these are 6.5 inch. They have a rating of 3.7 out of 5 on Bass Pro's site. Danco's site does not have any reviews yet on these pliers. And Cast King on Amazon has a 4.6 out of 5. These are the Intimidator series. It says they're corrosion resistant, Teflon coated, tungsten carbide cutters. They're all tungsten carbide cutters. And it's saltwater resistant. They call this the color F. It's actually, the style is F. They're 7-inch straight nose with brake cutters, heavy duty. Okay. So having gone through that, like I said, the Cast Kings have been on my boat for 4 or 5 months now, probably. They've gotten a lot of use. I like them. They make it into my tackle bags when I go out bank fishing or go on other people's boats. I like them. They're a good pair of pliers. Like I said, to my knowledge, they've been discontinued, but they do still have some on Amazon. I decided they're discontinued based upon the absence from Cast King's site. Okay, so the big thing is, for me, is the cutters, right? Do they work or don't they? The Danco and the Cast King both have these side cutters on the side, whereas you have to go down through the jaws to get to the cutters on the Bass Pro brand. Okay, so let's go with the cutting. This is some 10-pound 0.8 millimeter braid. So we'll start off with the Bass Pro pliers, and whether it go to the front, back, middle, cuts through just fine. Shouldn't expect any different. And with the Dancos, again, now both the Danco and the Bass Pro pliers are new, but both cut this just fine. When I go into the Cast King, and I did just adjust the cutters to try to make them straight and perfect. You have to squeeze really hard and even pull just a little bit. Again, these have been used, maybe a little abused. So I don't remember having a real problem with these at any time in cutting, but when I was preparing for the video, I did some testing. I was like, so that was with 10-pound mono. This is 50-pound Merced Ultra Durable Braided Line, 50-pound 0.37 millimeter. This is made by Run CL, found it on Amazon. With this, again, now here it's not even cutting it at the very base. Left a pretty good fray at the end, but it will cut it in parts of the plier. But you have to go really hard, and you kind of pull a little bit to break that last little strand. Grab these with the Bass Pro pliers. Again, front, back, sideways, whatever. Got some just Danco same way. And then mono, I'll just go ahead and skip to the 3-pound. I've got some 10-pound as well, but I mean, if it can't cut 10-pound, we're in trouble, right? This would be the thinner stuff. Danco goes through them just fine. Bass Pro, when I get it in the cutters, we'll cut it this side, no problems. And then with the Cast Kings, it'll cut it up, in any part of it. You might have to pull just a hair, but again, not terrible. So, the question is always, which is the best? And that's always a subjective answer. One thing I should mention, like I said, this does come with the lanyard, and it actually was hooked. I unhooked it myself because I don't know that I'll be using the lanyard when I use it. Probably won't use the holster either. Don't know. And you can never have enough pliers on the boat. But between them, they all have their own place. These are a nice, light set of pliers. Again, 3 ounces. Compared again with 7 ounces and 10.4 ounces. That's without the sheath. Just the pliers. They're lightweight. They're milled out a little bit. They will probably be the slickest in wet conditions, but they do have, the grooves on here. So they should, stay pretty much in your hand without any problems. Because these are the lightest of the pliers, I would say they're probably the lightest duty. Cast King. These have a thick rubber coating on them. I would say almost like a sheath on each side with these. I don't know how thick the actual underlying metal in here is, but they're sturdy, they're fine. They have little holes here if you wanted to go ahead and attach a lanyard to them. But again, they don't come with a sheath. Whether that matters is up to you. Now the Danco pliers. These are they're heavy, comparatively. but they feel really good in the hand. I think that these will last a very, very long time. Again, these are titanium coated stainless. I think that's what it was. Yeah, titanium coated stainless. Um, the rubberized coating is very thin, kind of like Plasti Dip, but not exactly Plasti Dip. But it's that kind of thickness. There's a lot of relief cut out of them to try to bring down the weight. This little notch here is interesting, and you also see that we have some notches here as well on the Cast King. Now these notches are just notches, whereas this is more of a hole on the Danco pliers. It's good if you have like a smaller hook. You can put the hook in there, and then you can pull to cinch down your knots, etc. As opposed to having to try to, get your finger in there and maybe get cut on the barb a little bit or whatever. As far as a favorite, I would probably pick the Dancos, simply because I think they're going to last me the longest. I think these will be fine in saltwater. I don't know if aluminum does well in saltwater. I don't fish saltwater, so it's not really that big of an issue for me. You also, we're looking at a pair of 6-inch pliers versus a 7.5 inch as well. That, of course, is going to add weight with all the extra metal. But it's just a good quality plier. It feels good in my hand. Yeah. They all feel good for that matter. The Cast King, now, they're very comfortable because of these thick rubber, plastic, rubberized, whatever, handles here. They do feel good. And I've used these a lot, and I really don't have any complaints about them, except the cutters are not exactly perfect. You can buy replacement cutters probably for all three. I know you can get them for the Danco off of their site. I believe you can get them from Cast King as well. Overall, you really can't go wrong with any of them. I really like these Bass Pro pliers for the fact that they're just so doggone lightweight. You stick them in your pocket, they're not going to weigh you down. They're not going to fall deep down in your pocket where you have to dig for them every single time. I actually like these enough that I got a pair for my stepdaughter for Christmas. And at $10, which is what I paid for them, I got them for half price. Just normal sale, not any kind of deals here. They're not much more than your cheap Walmart needle nose pliers, and I think that they're going to be a much better product. Again, it has the cutters within the jaws. Some people like them, some people don't. It's a matter of preference. You can't go wrong with any of these, unless you're doing saltwater, in which case I really believe that the Danco pliers are going to last you a lot longer. I can't tell you how strong they feel. Also has, the preppers for doing leaders, as does the Cast Kings. The Bass Pro are just straight jaw pliers with the cutter inside. There you have it. Hope I've given you some information. Again, these can be found at dancopliers.com, basspro.com, and these could be castking.com or amazon.com. I have found that items that are no longer available on Cast King or are out of stock on Cast King even are going to be found on Amazon. Usually sold by Cast King themselves. So I don't know if they like the fulfillment abilities of Amazon, or if that supply chain gets the most priority. I don't know. But Amazon's always a place you can buy things. Thanks for sticking around till the end on this. If you like the channel, I would love it if you'd subscribe. Like I said, we're going to do videos. We're going to do some product reviews. We're going to do some fishing videos, of course. Some bank fishing, some boat fishing. And like I said, I'm not really stuck to a specific species. It's going to be whatever I think I have the best chance of catching that day, whatever's, the conditions seem to call better for. Like to have Lola out with me. She's getting herself in a little trouble today. Again, YouTube really likes people to have subscriptions, likes people to click the thumbs up button. So if you could do that for me, I would certainly appreciate it. And until next time, Big Mike and Lola saying, catch you on the water.